You certainly won't need us to tell you that there are many diets out there promoted to be a more effortless and often quick fix solution to weight issues. Here are just some examples. Another one, though, that's getting much attention as of late is bone broth fasting, since it's said to improve weight drastically in just a matter of days. Actor Mark Wahlberg, for instance, has stated that he lost 10 pounds in 5 days on it. But is it actually advantageous for weight or just another plain old fad diet? Well, we've got your answer. But first, as always, please take note of our disclaimer. Bone broth fasting is aimed at, unsurprisingly given the name, fasting for a period of time with the allowance of bone broth as well as electrolyte supplementation. Bone broth is targeted since it is a very healthy food packed with micronutrients and amino acids, which is, needless to say, particularly important when undertaking such a diet that pretty much cuts out food. Also, bone broth helps keep electrolyte levels stable, which are important for body processes such as conducting nerve impulses, contracting muscles, hydrating, and regulating pH levels. This is necessary as diets that remove carbs drastically also decrease electrolyte consumption. And when people are low in this, they may experience symptoms seen here. So, bone broth with the aid of electrolyte supplementation helps offset these potential side effects. In 1 cup of bone broth, there are about 40 calories. People usually have about 2 litres or 68 ounces of it per 24 hours on the diet, which is about 8 cups. So, by our estimates, you'll consume about 320 calories from it. In addition, many electrolyte supplements contain some calories too. So, bone broth fasting isn't really a fast per se like a standard intermittent fasting diet would be, which strictly allows no calories outside of the eating window. Nonetheless, the diet's associated calorie intake is said to be still small enough to obtain much of the weight loss and health effects of typical fasting diets. This video will solely focus on the proposed benefits from a weight loss perspective. Admittedly, when people like Mark Wahlberg say they've lost an impressive amount of weight in such a small time frame from bone broth fasting, they're actually not exaggerating. But what type of weight is being lost is the real question. Sure, some of it will be fat. I mean, if you're intaking around 300 calories per day for several days, you will have some success in that regard no matter what type of eating regimen. That's consuming over 5 days what one would typically consume in 1 day from a regular weight loss diet. At the same time, the facilitation of ketosis is offered to be another advantage. This is because the carb shortage from bone broth fasting is advocated to optimize the use of ketone bodies and fatty acids for cellular fuel over blood sugar, aiding insulin sensitivity, fat metabolism, and reduced fat storage. However, a 2023 Umbrella review on the keto diet suggests that ketosis-inducing diets achieve comparable results short-term to others like the Mediterranean diet. So we're really not sure that just 5 days of ketosis is enough to offer any meaningful fat loss potential. In actuality, most of the lost weight seen from bone broth fasting diets boils down to plain old water loss. You see, for most people, carbs, being the easiest macronutrient to break down to blood sugar, aka blood glucose, is mostly how they power their cells. After the cells are well supplied with blood sugar, the excess remaining will either be converted into fat as an energy reserve for later on, or as glycogen storage for the same purpose but with quicker access. And it's this glycogen, or lack thereof rather, that's responsible for the water loss. That's because water molecules bind to it. In fact, for every gram of glycogen stored, up to 4 grams of water is stored with it. In other words, since you'll consume so few carbs on the diet, you'll run low on glycogen storage and lose the water that usually accompanies it, and ultimately lose the weight of both in the process. You see how this is a problem? As once you return to regular eating habits, you will regain that weight as quickly as you lost it. Now, advocates of the diet might argue that the extra electrolyte intake offsets this water loss in the first place, and so the resulting weight reduction seen from the diet must come down to mostly decreased fat. Yet we strongly disagree. Why don't you leave your opinion on this in the comment section down below? But just for argument's sake, let's imagine all of the weight from bone broth fasting was actually from fat, absent of any drop in water weight. This can still lead to weight regain in another way. When we run too low on calories, our bodies don't know whether this is voluntary to improve health or involuntary from starvation. By default, it jumps to the conclusion that it's the latter. Consequently, it'll start to pump hunger hormones like ghrelin into the body to urge you to intake more calories, since it feels like you're in danger. At the same time, in response, your body will also turn down your metabolism a notch to not burn as many calories. Overall, this means not only will you be inclined to consume more calories once you finish the fast, but you'll also burn fewer calories day by day for long after. Thus, even if you lost impressive amounts of fat from undertaking bone broth fasting, you'll most likely end up heavier than you were when setting out with time. Moreover, another con of bone broth fasting for weight loss is the impact it'll have on your motivation when you can't stick with it. Or even worse, if you do, go through the period of suffering necessary and still end up gaining all that weight back regardless. And when this happens, people will often blame themselves, even if they're set up to fail in the first place. Guys, we really only have a finite amount of motivation towards any goal. And if you're wasting valuable sources of it on fad diets like this, it's undoubtedly going to take away some of it from going about weight loss the right way. If you'd like assistance with this, why not undertake our evidence-based and results-backed personalized plateau weight management program? Please click the link in the top right-hand corner of the video or follow the link in the description. Lastly, be aware that there's a number of drawbacks for health that come with diets that severely restrict calories too. If you'd like to learn more about this, please watch our video on fad diets. There is an additional link to this in the description down below. Do you agree that bone broth fasting isn't helpful for weight and actually could even make things worse? We'd love to hear from you in the comment section down below. Additionally, if you're new here, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel. So that has been our video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.